Well, hello everybody. It's time for the Industrial Belt Railway, our very first video. You'll have to excuse me, I don't have a lot of experience with this, so we might make some mistakes. But I wanted to show the bench work. The entire layout is 2 feet wide, except for the drop-down section. This table here is 2 foot by 7 foot. This is where TMKX Locomotive Leasing is going to be located. Here's the drop down. This here is 6 inches wide. I can fit 1 to 2 tracks. It lifts up over here. So you see these little pieces of blocks of wood hold it in position. Pretty simple. We got a 2x2 piece of wood going down the middle that's been glued and screwed in. And then we're using some heavy duty locking hinges. Unfortunately, they don't lock because the ceiling drops down too far for this to go all the way up. So we have that hook that'll help keep it in place so we don't have no accidental drops. Moving on, this is the main table, 2 feet wide. We're running about, I'd say, another 20 feet. So I believe this entire tabletop here with the drop down and that other table is going to be 30 roughly. And then as you can see, we're working on that 2 foot by 6 foot peninsula. So that'll give us 36 feet. I am planning on possibly putting that frame down there, another 2 foot by 6 foot, putting that down and adding onto that peninsula to make 12 feet. Sorry, I'm repositioning. The TV is going to be moved to the other side of the basement, so we're not going to have that cord going through that notch anymore. On that angle part next to the door frame, I'm planning on putting Franklin steel. And then this part here, I want to run about 3 to 4 blocks worth of street running. I'm thinking maybe 3 blocks, because we're getting kind of then close to that peninsula where it's going to have to curve. Down there where you see that light switch, I'm planning on Hager Rail Services. So that gives us 3 industries plus the street running. If I can put something else in here, I will. But I'm thinking we're going to have to move it to the peninsula here on the end. And like I said, we may end up putting another 2 foot by 6 foot extension there. What I'd like to do on the end of that is put a small interchange yard with maybe 3 tracks, with an interchange track and a diamond where the Industrial Belt Railway meets the NS. Also, I was thinking about maybe placing a removable staging cassette that connects to the interchange track to bring the train onto the layout, like Lance Mindheim suggests in his books about, you know, building your train off layout and then bringing it on stage, as he puts it, as the layout. Here's another view of that drop down. Hopefully we won't have any issues with sagging. I don't know. I'm new to this. I am no expert. I'm just doing the best I can with this. This layout is not going to be permanent. As a lot of people know, I've had some health issues. I'm living with my sister and brother-in-law, staying down here in their basement. There's a bedroom, bathroom down here, and I got the rest of the area here for a train. But I know they're not planning on staying here forever, and I would have to move on to something of my own. But one thing I've learned, if I do, I am going to downsize. We're going to go from 24 down to 18 or 14 inches wide. Instead of these 2x4s, probably go down to 1x3s, no legs, and just put it on shelf brackets. I need something easier. I don't want to go through this again. I know there are some imperfections in the bench work. A lot of this wood was been reused at least 3 times. And there were a lot of different hands that were involved in this. This time around, things didn't get built exactly the way I was hoping. I've had to make some different improvements Sorry if this is a boring video to watch. A lot of narration, but not a lot to show you at this moment. You just have to use your imagination. I'm going to try for at least 6 industries. If I can, I'm going to try to add 2 more. The list would be TMKX Locomotive Leasing, Franklin Steel, Garmin Plastics, SRT Logistics, Hager Rail Services, Star Glass. Those would be the 6 I want to do. If we can add 2 more, maybe Calumet Foods, Wellman Fasteners, might even think about a transload or a team track. But right now I don't have anything set in stone for those extra 2. I just know that those first 6 are what I really want to do. And as you can see, the construction's pretty simple. Just 2x4 framing with some legs on the front to help support the weight. It's screwed into the wall in the back. And then we have these legs with the angle supports. I'm going to be using Atlas Code 83 sectional track. I know I've gotten some flack for that, but I've got so much track now. I'm down too far down the road to be switching right now. And like I said, this isn't going to be a permanent layout. This is going to probably only be a few years, if that. And then I'm just going to have to come up with a whole new plan. As you can see, there's all my motive power rail cars are in those 3 bins. Down here, I've got a bunch of kits from Walthers already, including their street kits to do that street running. I'm hoping I can do it as good as Justin Grayson's. I got a plan in my mind's eye of how I want everything to look, but I really don't have much experience. I'm almost 50. The last time I ever put a kit together, painted and glued, was probably back in high school. And even then, I've only done a couple. So we'll see how interesting this turns out. Just to show, we did a little brace there at the bottom to hold those legs so they won't be wobbling around. Right now, I don't know how much more I can tell you. I'm going to try to start getting some track down, but what I would like to do, not all of these boards are screwed down yet. Before I do this one here, I'd like to get this TV out of here and move it, then so I don't have to mess with that plug with that notch out. Tomorrow, weather permitting, I'm heading to the lumber yard to take those 2x4s you see laying there back, get my money back to get some plywood to finish off that peninsula. Whether or not we do that other 2 foot by 6 foot down there is yet to be seen. I don't know. Right now I feel like we got plenty to work with as it is. But, well, stay tuned. I will try to have something else later this week. Maybe we'll get these boards done and then maybe start laying some track to kind of give you an idea. But the Industrial Belt Railway is based loosely off the Belt Railway of Chicago and the Industrial Belt, or I'm sorry, the Indiana Harbor Belt. Basically, it is an urban short line switching layout. Pretty much this is ex-Pennsylvania Railroad trackage, Penn Central, then Conrail abandoned it in '83, and the Industrial Belt Railway was born and has been operating. Track speeds are down to 10 miles per hour because of deferred maintenance. This is a Class 3 short line that doesn't spend a whole lot of money into anything. So I want to give it that urbanized, gritty feel. And then Jackson Heights is more of an urbanized, it's a fictitious suburb. Kind of has the feeling of like South Chicago. If anybody's familiar, I know I've got people following me from all over. And if you want to look up like Indiana Harbor Belt or Belt Railway of Chicago, especially running around in South Chicago, will kind of give you an idea of what I'm going for. Well, hopefully the video wasn't too boring. I know there's not, like I said, a whole lot to show right now but plywood. But hopefully by the next video, all the plywood will be fastened down and we will start laying out some tracks so you can get more of an idea what we're planning. Like I said, that 2 foot by 7 foot over there, I really would like to use the entire table for the leasing company. I'm planning on at least 3 storage tracks with different types of locomotives in different types of disrepair, you know, being stripped, you know, decommissioned and stripped. And then they also have the new, as you might have seen in my other pictures, my red and white TMKX locomotives. The IBR comes across that drop down, picks those up, delivers them to the NS interchange, and vice versa. So it gives me something to do. I want to put the steel place here, pretty much steel coils, because I would like to have my coil train coming down here on the street running. The street running is going to be more residential, but I am thinking at the end over here, Keeler Avenue might have a little bit of commercial, so maybe some stores, so we could do a little bit of a mix. But for right now, thanks for putting up with the horrible production values and my basically my narration off the cuff here. So hopefully, like I said, we'll have another video soon, which will show more and get people more enthused here than just plain plywood. Well, thanks again, and check out some of the pictures that I have on my page in the meantime. And if you want to see some videos of real trains, go to my YouTube channel at Fat Caboose Depot. And thanks again.